Welcome to the Overlooked Motel, a place where underseen and unappreciated films are given their moment in the spotlight. This week's selection is a severely underrated giallo-esque thriller from the late Wolfgang Petersen. Shattered, which is based on the book Plastic Nightmares, is an erotic thriller that takes inspiration from Hitchcock, Palma, and the over-the-top giallo mysteries of yesteryear. The flick has been all but forgotten in the decades since its 1991 theatrical exhibition, but I am convinced that Shattered is primed for rediscovery by the right audience. The film follows Dan Merrick as he awakens from a coma following a major car accident. Upon returning to consciousness, Dan learns he has a case of psychogenic amnesia, meaning that he has lost all memory of any personal details, but remembers how to walk, talk, or drive a car. As Dan struggles to put the broken pieces of his life back together, he is plagued by strange and troublesome recollections of which he cannot quite make sense. He comes to suspect that his wife may have been having an affair and simultaneously plotting his untimely demise. In a desperate attempt to discern the truth about his life before the accident, Dan enlists the services of a private investigator. What the PI finds leaves Dan with even more questions, but one thing is for sure, absolutely nothing is what it seems. The central mystery within Shattered is compelling, and the road to the denouement is winding and unpredictable. There is an air of paranoia throughout this neo-noir thriller. Although all of the answers are somewhere within Dan's mind, he can't quite piece them together. So when he receives conflicting accounts from those closest to him, it becomes clear that someone is lying. And the inherent distrust that distinction conjures creates a palpable sense of tension that is likely to keep the audience on the edge of their seat throughout. In staying true to its giallo influences, Shattered has a bonkers twist ending that may not be entirely plausible, but it certainly serves as a clear and unexpected reveal. I was caught squarely off guard upon my inaugural viewing of Shattered, and I still view the twist as a clever, albeit outrageous conclusion upon repeat visits. Like most of the film, you may have to suspend your disbelief to get the most bang for buck, but that should be no problem for giallo enthusiasts. In addition to a great mystery with giallo overtones, Shattered also benefits from entertaining characters. Berenger turns in a solid performance in the lead role, and Corbin Bernsen is equally enjoyable as his shady business partner. Also worthy of note is Bob Hoskins as private investigator / pet store proprietor Gus Klein. Klein fulfills that hard-boiled detective prototype and brings some neo-noir energy to the film. He also delivers some great comedic dialogue and serves as a quirky and inherently likable sidekick of sorts. I think Shattered is a perfect example of a film that hasn't really found its audience. It wasn't particularly successful at the box office, and I don't think mainstream critics quite knew what to make of it, but I suspect that has something to do with the fact that Shattered lacks some of the sophistication of Hitchcock or De Palma, and leans into the incoherent and illogical more than some critics and moviegoers may have preferred. But this is a film I'm quite convinced anyone that enjoys the intersection of the surreal and the macabre will enjoy. It may be a little campy, but Shattered is a hell of a lot of fun for what it is, and what it is an erotic, escapist thriller that will surely check a lot of boxes for the right audience. If you're keen to check Shattered out for yourself, you can stream it for free with ads on Tubi as of the publication of this post. That's all for this installment of the Overlooked Motel. If you want to chat more about underseen and underrated films, feel free to hit me up with your thoughts on Twitter @FunWithHorror.